Ever felt like you're trading your time and health for a paycheck, only to realize you might be missing out on life's most precious moments? There's always a time when working further starts to demand more than what retiring would cost you. People tend to believe working hard and saving money is the road to financial freedom. But while that may be true, they eventually lose sight of the bigger picture. They cross the point of financial freedom, but they are so tied to their jobs that they don't realize it. So are you like this, or are you still on the path? Regardless of your answer, here are 7 big reasons why you need to retire early. Starting from one of the most overlooked ones, your financial situation might be better than you realize. Before we tell you why, we admit that you are really the only one who can genuinely assess your financial freedom. However, have you ever truly asked yourself if you are financially stable? If you haven't, you may want to pay close attention to these questions. For starters, do you have little to no debt? If yes, that's great. It means you can redirect your money towards saving and investing. And speaking of savings, if you have a nice piggy bank for emergencies, that is a pretty good suggestion that you're a lot more financially stable than you think. Finally, how about your monthly coverage? If your bills are paid on time and you still have a lot of spare cash from your income, don't you think you're in a good position? It's even more obvious if your spouse's income is relatively untouched. We'll talk more about this later. That said, let's break it down a bit. Think of your money situation as digging for treasure. Sometimes we don't realize how much gold, in savings or investments, we've got. People tend to worry about household expenses when they are close to retirement, which is sad to see as it leads to anxiety and constantly working until a breakdown. The thing is, 2 key aspects come into play. First, you are likely overestimating your expenses post-retirement. Secondly, you are overestimating the amount of assets needed to birth the necessary income. Ever heard about the retirement spending smile? It describes how retirement expenses are not linear and fixed. Imagine you're a 60-year-old couple that currently needs $100,000 a year to live a comfortable lifestyle. Yeah, that's kind of a lot, but still, it is just an example. A common misconception is assuming this spending level, adjusted for inflation, will remain consistent throughout retirement. If, for instance, this couple expects to live until 85, they might project spending $2.5 million in 25 years. However, retirement spending is a different ballgame. It follows a pattern that peaks during the early active years, slows down, and then increases again when healthcare becomes more crucial. For that couple, their expenses over the 25 years may just be under $1.5 million, give or take. How did they save that extra $1 million, you say? Well, they spent a whole lot less than what they originally expected. It's just economics.
People that retire wealthy, it wasn't an accident. They didn't get to retirement and go, how'd that happen? Where'd that come from? They know exactly where that money came from. It was an intentional act year after year, month after month, paycheck after paycheck, being deducted into their 401k, into their Roth IRA, into good mutual funds, year after year after year after year after year after year. It's just not sexy.
Secondly, have you ever considered the time? And no, we don't mean brunch. We spend a lot of time working, but why don't you think about how much you spend? Time is one of the scarcest resources available to you. Once it is spent, you cannot have it back, no matter how much you have. Sure, you made and saved millions after retiring late, but to what end? To put this into perspective, just how precious time is, let's be more practical. Ever wanted to try yoga or play the piano? Well, when people retire, they get the chance to do all kinds of fun stuff like that. Retiring young means you have years to explore things you never thought about. Some retirees read about interesting stuff, learn new languages, and even take art classes. Also, when you retire, you get more time with family and friends, whether they need your help or not. If you don't want to wait to spend more time with your loved ones, retiring sooner might be a good idea. Let's say you have a couple of grandkids before retiring early. It means you would have more time to spend with them before they get older. Think of all those breakfasts, school events, and laid-back evenings together. Every day you spend with them is like a chance to make some awesome memories together. It's like having extra time to be a superhero for your family, creating awesome adventures, and making stronger bonds. What could be better than that? These years are precious, and postponing retirement, even just for one more year, could mean sacrificing a substantial portion of this valuable time. The third reason why you should be considering early retirement is your health. Guys, if your health is taking a hit, it might be a good idea to take a step back and prioritize yourself. Investing time in improving your health for a better and more satisfying retirement is a worthwhile choice. It's like giving yourself the chance to enjoy the good things that come with retirement by making sure you're feeling the best. Ready for the hurtful truth? Getting older often brings health challenges, which you should consider, especially if you're dealing with health issues that worsen over time. Depending on your job, it might become too demanding if your health is not in good shape. Putting in 40 hours weekly can wear down your body and mind. So if you sense that working full-time is hurting your health, it's worth considering early retirement. Your health is your life. It can never be worth getting those extra work hours and income. And to make things worse, do you remember the curve on the retirement spending smile? Why did the 60-year-old couple have higher expenses when they became 85? It's easy. Healthcare. The sooner you start to watch those hours, the better you'll be in the long run. Delaying retirement and working for another year might not seem like a big deal, but it can be significant. Let's break it down. If you're 50, statistics show you have a 50-50 chance of enjoying another 35 years. If you're married, and assuming your spouse is the same age, that's around 35 summers together. Now, consider how many of these years you'll be in good health. Maybe 15? Less? You don't want to work until you're old and spend your entire money on health. Yes, it may be an inevitable evil, but why not focus on not making it worse now? Moving on, have you been considering getting a part-time job? Because that is the fourth reason on our list. Guys, there is a reason why Warren Buffett insists never depend on a single income. There are a lot of good reasons why you should be taking a step back from your job and embracing part retirement. Apart from the obvious reason of providing more time to relax, spend time with the family, and improve your health, do you know that part-time jobs open the door for Social Security to support you? You can collect retirement benefits while engaging in part-time employment. It works like magic. Want to know the icing on the cake? The income from your part-time endeavors can complement your Social Security earnings. Plus, the beauty of this approach is its flexibility. You're not confined to your current workspace. Part-time opportunities can sprout up wherever you desire. As long as you don't make more money than specific guidelines allow, you can work as many or as few hours as you want without further reducing your Social Security benefits. Plus, you can go into the stock market as a part-time or full-time trader. It is fully remote, and you would not even need a lot of money to begin.
The average car payment in America today is $503. That's just cray-cray. That's nutty. If you invest $500 in a decent growth stock mutual fund from age 30 to age 70, you'll have over $5 million. That one thing will make you worth $5 million.
We've got a lot of amazing videos on our channel that could kickstart your journey into stocks, dividends, and a couple of other amazing options inspired by some of the best minds in the game. You should check it out after this video. That said, getting into entrepreneurship is another reason why you need to consider retiring early. You see, doing this is like taking control of your own story. Instead of working for someone else, you can become the boss of your work.
I would rather work 80 hours a week to make $50K and work for myself than have a $75,000, $100,000 job working for somebody else.
And guess what? Mark Cuban wasn't even kidding. Working for yourself is so good. You get to decide when and how to work. It's not the usual 9-to-5 routine. It's about creating a schedule that fits your interests and values. Think about it. Having your own business means more money will enter your pocket, especially if it is remote. You would save a lot of money on transportation and all that. Plus, when you're in charge, successful ventures can bring in a lot of cash, helping you reach your financial goals faster. When you work for someone, you are only getting percentages in return. But as the owner, you are responsible for everything you make. This financial boost gives you the freedom to retire earlier than most people do. Additionally, having your own business also means facing challenges and learning new things all the time. This keeps your mind active and ready for anything. Compare this to a regular job, and the idea of retiring early to explore new things and enjoy life becomes pretty exciting. Do you have any life dreams that you've been hoping to accomplish? Owning your own business is a solid way to think about retiring early and getting those dreams accomplished. It combines having control over your work, making good money, finding purpose, and being able to try out different things, creating a pretty awesome story for your future. Moving on, have you ever considered if your partner pulls in enough money to cover both of you? If yes, congratulations! This is yet another reason why you need to consider earlier retirement. No, but seriously, why work so hard when you and your spouse have got things covered? Remember the monthly coverage we talked about earlier? If you make a lot of money, enough to cover your expenses, and your spouse's earnings are relatively untouched, you can make a lot of savings from it. This becomes even more interesting if you have specific things on your mind or goals that align with early retirement perks. The thing is, if your better half's paycheck is good enough to handle the important expenses, it gives you a financial cushion, letting you put more focus on other parts of your life. But here's the catch. Before you make that leap into early retirement, you've got to be sure you've hit the right age, the full retirement age set by the Social Security Administration. It's like knowing the level you need to reach in a game to grab all the rewards. Knowing this detail is crucial because opting for early retirement before hitting this age might mean receiving less money each month in benefits. The seventh reason you need to consider retiring early is to keep your work-life balance in check. Have you ever found yourself missing out on the fun stuff, like events or trips, all because work takes up so much of your time? Or perhaps you've noticed that stress from your job makes you kinda grumpy with your partner or family. You're not alone in this. The American Institute of Stress says that more than 75% of the people in the US feel like job stress messes with their relationships. It's not like your job is not just a job. It's trying to be the boss of your whole life. So, if you're feeling like your job is pulling you away from being a good partner or parent, it might be time to think about saying goodbye to work forever. You only get one go at this life thing, right? If your life scale is tipped 90% towards work and only 10% towards everything else, it could be a signal to kick work off the scale completely. Just imagine all the things you miss out on just because you work so much. We mean the cool things in life, like the freedom to say yes to family trips, those special events, or hey, just simply being there as a supporting hand when your partner or kid needs you. It's like choosing to live your life in a way that feels right, where work doesn't get to boss you around anymore. And hey, do not make the mistake of thinking quitting your job automatically means you can't handle the work. It's about deciding that your time and happiness are more important. So if you're nodding along, feeling like work has taken over your life, maybe it's time to give yourself a chance to tip the scales in favor of living your life, not just working through it.